Hello again, and welcome back, everybody, to another edition of the Rural Report. I am your Rural 2IC, and if you read the title of this or you saw the thumbnail, then you pretty much have a somewhat basic idea what we're going to talk about, and that is Prepping 2.0. Now, what is that if you are questioning it? Well, 2.0 is the next version, and that usually means that there is a previous version. And the way that I want to try and have this thing go is life is short, right? You're never promised tomorrow. You're technically not even promised the next minute or second, right? Anything can happen at any given time. Uh, some sort of a blood clot or a heart attack, stroke. Somebody could break into a house or do something unspeakable. You can, have a lightning strike or a multitude of various horrible, unspeakable bad things can happen. And, all them plans that you had for the weekend or 6 months from now or even Christmas, well, they don't matter much, right? So when we have a 1.0, that is all the things that we have done up until this point, until we release 2.0. And when it comes to preparedness, you can go through and you can look at different things in history. You can learn a lot from all of our ancestors on how did they hunt, how did they trap, how did they preserve food, grow food, the different methods of growing it, irrigation, different things like that. And as we go through time, we go from running down an animal and whacking it over the head to setting up a snare or something like that, to getting it to where it's a bow and arrow, to as time progresses, so does technology. Inventions and different things like that happen, and we start getting it to where it's easier, or we can achieve it with a better efficiency. And so, to give you an idea, I took the liberty of going straight to the internet, and I asked it, what are the top 25 inventions of the last 25 years? Now, I'm not going to bore you with this entire list, but let's go through. I'm going to guess that most of you are at least 25 years old. And there's a lot of you that have been prepping for 5, 10, 15, maybe that full 25 years. And so if you started, let's say 25 years ago, then that means that there's a few things on this list that has wasn't even out. It wasn't part of your preps when you first started out. So let's see if any of these things surprise you. So number one on the list is Wi-Fi, right? Most of us can remember when Wi-Fi came out. What did we do when there's kids today that they can't visualize life without Wi-Fi? What do you mean I don't have some sort of little device right here that I can literally ask it absolutely any question, and most of the time get an answer to it. Now, it may not be the greatest answer or the best answer, but it gives you something generally. But number two, they have what I just picked up: smartphones. There's a lot of us that can remember that when the actual cell phone, not even a smartphone, but just the cell phone came out. And then now you all of a sudden you have a smartphone, you have an actual computer in your pocket. How much has that helped you in your prepping between Wi-Fi and cell phone? The two things off the list, just ripping right off. How much has those two things have elevated your prepping, has made it to where you can do things, learn things, look things up, buy things, all that with a much faster speed and greater efficiency level. If we were talking about we were 25 years ago, we wouldn't have the very first two things that we all use pretty much on a regular basis, I'm going to guess. So, number three on the list is online banking. Um, there's a lot of us that remember that you went in, you took your actual physical paper check to the bank. Now there's a lot of people that didn't even know a bank location even existed. You just signed up online. That's what you do. Number four is search engines, things like Google. That was not invented over 25 years ago. It's just one of the things. And while we're going down and talking about banking and online search engines and things, well, guess what? Amazon is on that list. How many of you use Amazon to buy preps and prepping related stuff? Well, guess what? 25 years ago, you couldn't use that. And so look how far we've come with technology. Guess what? Another one on the list, GPS. How many of us use GPS on our day-to-day life? Whether you're a truck driver or you're trying to get to a relative's house that just recently moved, maybe you're trying to uh, try out a new restaurant or whatever, and you're not entirely sure, where it's at. There's a lot of people that use GPS on a regular basis. I can remember when they first came out; it was the greatest thing there was, right? And all of a sudden, you put a little thing there, and it spoke to you. Turn left, and half a mile or whatever. It was absolutely great. Before then, it was all pre trying to get your destination with a paper map, or you had a co pilot in the passenger seat trying to unfold that monstrous paper map and all that, and trying to figure out where you are and where you need to go. And yeah, GPS is wonderful. Um, Other things we talked about the smartphones, they have things on here like tablets, the very thing that we're on right now, YouTube is not even 25 years old. um, there's all sorts of different things on this list, everything from Bluetooth, Facebook, most of your social medias, um, all sorts of different things of your Fitbits and Spotify's and your Alexas and Amazon Echoes and all that other stuff. But I mean, if you go and you look, like even the iPad was invented and came out for consumers in 2010. Okay, we're in 2025. We were talking about things for the last 25 years. The iPad, which I'm guessing there's probably a decent of you that are watching me right now on an iPad, 2010, that's 15 years. For a lot of us, that's going to feel like forever. Like, no, that thing's been around for a long time. I've had this thing forever. You're probably on your second, third, fourth, fifth iPad by now. But that's how fast things change. That's why we're talking about prepping 2.0. Look at how far we've come in 25 years. All the different things that I just went through and mentioned, everything from having commercially available GPS, from having a smartphone, from having Wi Fi, from having Amazon, from having all this great stuff at our fingertips, and how much it has improved and helped everything in your prepping repertoire, if we will. Imagine where we're going to be 25 years from now. That is prepping 2.0, okay? And it's one of them things. Yes, we can't predict the future. We don't know what inventions are going to be here in 25 years. But think about how far we've come in 25 years. All the different things that I've gone through and listed. Now think of the possibilities of the stuff that might be coming out in the next 25 years. For me, I'm 40. So for me, 25 years, that's retirement. So when I retire, this is the stuff that's going to be out just before, during, or just after, right? What is it that's going to be there that, is going to completely change my life, that's going to make it better? If GPS never came out, will it make the world stop? No. People did just fine navigating by the stars and finally mapping things out and having a paper map and things like that. It's not a thing of you have to have it. It just makes life that much more convenient and easy. And so progress will still happen. We're still going to have progression. You're still going to have innovators innovate and create and put out new gadgets and toys and other different things that the community and basically people want. They crave that newer, faster, shinier, better version. And it's going to be the same thing with preparedness. Okay. Yes, most of us right now are still old school, but we age. Okay. And it's one of the things that you cannot really do anything about. Time marches forward. You're not going to stop it, pause it, do anything like that. And there's no sense in fighting it because, again, there's nothing you can do about it. You've got to do what you can with what you have. And while most of us and our generations that we are, yes, we utilize a lot of the new stuff. If you didn't, you're not watching me right now because technology is part of the new stuff. But we still hold true to the value of the old. There's a lot of us that have a actual manual can opener just in case it's sitting in there in the drawer, and it's there. It works. It's going to function. Now, you may take and have an electric one or some fancy gadget that does it or whatever, and that's great. Why not? If SHGF doesn't happen in my lifetime, there's nothing wrong with having convenience and good things. I still enjoy electricity and air conditioning and Wi-Fi and all that stuff. There's nothing wrong with enjoying the conveniences and luxuries of life as long as you can maintain self-sufficiency when it matters. And part of that is keeping routine. Part of that is going through and making sure that you have the correct supplies, gear, skill, and knowledge, that if the time arises, you are prepared for it. And it needs to be that instead of every single day you open up a can with the electric can opener, make it that once a week you pull that old reliable out and you manually open a can, just making sure you still remember how to do it and that it still works. Okay. I know it might be a bad excuse or whatnot, but it's an example, right? But we don't know, and it's hard to even begin to try and fathom or fantasize about the next invention that's going to come out that might be preparedness related. We don't know. We can go through and we can take guesses, or we can say it'd be nice if we had something like this. And it might not be some brand new thing that we've never heard of. It might be something that they just make a 2.0 of something that we already have. Maybe they make some big, huge 10-person tent, but they figure out some way to get it to where it fits in your pocket. Maybe they figure out, some sort of different water filtration device, something that's the size of a can of soda, but it filters out anything and everything, and it does a million gallons or something like that. It's possible. We can't fathom it right now, but who knows what's going to happen in the next 25 years? You just don't know. And it's one of them things that it's good to go through, and every once in a while, once, twice a month, go see what people are talking about. Hey, there's this company that's rumored to be putting out this new, whatchamacallit or whatever. Um, Check it out. Okay. It's okay to go to these trade shows and different things like that and check out the new things that are on the market and see where the direction of things are going. It's okay to buy something that's new and test it out. I'm all for getting something as long as it serves a purpose. If I have one or two things that I know works, but I can buy something new that is lightweight and better, and I can replace two or three objects with one, doesn't mean throw these away, that these are junk. These are great backups. But now I can have this, and now my preps become better. I'm bettering myself through the technology. You don't have to be primitive. There's a lot of people, especially new preppers, that think that preparedness is going to an absolute complete caveman style primitive nature. And it's not true. Okay. It might be for some people, but you don't have to. Okay. Yes, you're going to more than likely be in the dirt planting and getting dirty. Yes, you're probably going to be doing some sort of hunting and fishing, which means game processing and things like that. Okay, I get it. But we can utilize other things. When I go fishing, I can actually have fishing gear. I don't actually have to make fishing line and tackle and a pole and all that. I can actually use technology and the things that are available now and buy maybe a collapsible fishing pole with a small amount of tackle to take with me. Instead of trying to twist a bunch of vines together and make a snare, I can buy stainless steel and dip them and get them all ready and take good care of them. And then I have snares for life. You can utilize the things that are available now. You don't have to go complete caveman. It's okay. Okay. I've seen people try and say one way or the other. You can blend both. Okay. Find out what it is that works for you, because at the end of the day, when it actually hits the fan, no one's going to come over your back and be like, you're doing it wrong. Okay. It's going to be you. If you can do it, if you're comfortable with it and it works, that's all you need. Now, don't get the whole thing that where you stop taking advice. There's people out there that may come along and go, you might try it this way because it might be better, it might be easier, it might be both, or maybe it works for them and you try it and it doesn't work for you. Maybe it's a backup. Hey, I tried your way. It's a little confusing. It's more difficult. Takes more time. Now I know a second way to do it just in case. Always, listen to the advice and whatnot. But it's still, it comes down to it. If there's a huge SHTF situation, they're going to be off dealing with it in their own way. They're not going to be over here worried about if you're tying your shoes correctly, if the left lace goes up or the right lace goes up, right? It all goes out the window. And so prepping is very, very personal. Make it personal, make it about you, and do what you got to do. But keep looking forward, okay? We're in 2025, we're in a new year. Let's make it prepping 2.0. What can we do to take everything that we have, flip a leaf, and let's move on to bigger, better, and more prepared? So that's what I've got for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, do me a favor, hit all the little buttons down there that YouTube wants you to do, right? But I hope you guys have an amazing day. I hope you have a blessed day. Stay tuned because there's more information to come. And with that, remain united because we're all prepping in this together.